Welcome to Overseasoned.
It's only going to take one take.
I actually kicked him out of the restaurant.
Why?
Gotta bitch to someone.
Gotta bitch to somebody, and I'm good to bitch to.
I thought you were from Spain.
Yes, I am.
Oh.
Sí soy.
Gotcha.
Soy chorizo.
Oh, no.
You've gone into Martha Stewart land.
It's good. It's just not live.
Whatever.
Okay.
It's like a scene from Cocoon. Like the sun goes down.
You don't want to get blacklisted.
You know what, Mr. President? Is this what you want?
Awesome. Welcome to Overseasoned. Xavi.
Thank you for
Xavi.
welcoming me.
Xavi.
Yes.
Xavi.
Xavi.
I was thinking that you could open up a falafel place called the Xavi Chic.
Oh.
You go by so many different names.
Xavi Chic.
It's got a few, it's a few layers deep.
It does. It's layered. I thought of there was like a cat food, Shiba.
Where is this going? Oh yeah, Shiba.
Yeah. Okay. I like the shabby chic.
Shabby chic.
Yeah, shabby chic.
Shabby chic. Nice. So I was thinking,
Yeah.
we just had a new where I live in upstate New York.
Okay.
We finally had a fish market open,
Nice.
and you don't have to get that far outside of an American city for it to get difficult to get quality products.
I
You
agree.
know?
I agree.
And fish is definitely one of them. And I was
Unless
just,
you need ramps up there.
well,
Aplenty.
every April you can. We used to get cases of ramps, and use like a quarter of them, pickle the rest. I bet there's still some pickled ramps from 2003 on a shelf somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, and I was just thinking, it's like it definitely is coming from the restaurants. It gets a little bit harder you got to really kind of
Like
dig in
leaving
there
the
to
restaurant.
leaving the restaurants when you could just pilfer things, right?
Not us, though. Not us.
You're eating good things in the restaurant
Yeah.
on a consistent basis, and you live there. There's no
Right.
Your fridge has
Also-
Cheese Whiz and some saltine crackers.
And some old Chinese food.
Yeah, because you're eating at the restaurant all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is difficult to find some things in general.
Agreed.
Or you have to go to a few spots.
Nowhere to go.
You got to know where to go to find it. Plan ahead.
Yes.
Right? Because something might be a little 20 minutes away. You got to get it on your way back from somewhere.
Yeah.
We just had this beautiful fish shop open.
Cool.
In Cold Spring. And like beautiful, pristine, restaurant quality.
What kind of fish
stuff.
you getting in there?
It's
like,
amazing.
Like the classics, like
It's the
a
kind of
tuna,
place-
swordfish thing?
They got it all. You just go in there and see. You get there early, hopefully.
Yep.
And you see what they got because it's like the whole fillet is out there. It's not all tails, right?
Okay,
Towards
yeah.
the end of the day when you're
Yeah,
trying to
I
get a
hate
nice
that.
thick cut.
Yeah.
But they always have a nice selection.
Okay.
And I'm starting to make fish again on the weekdays because otherwise there's a fishmonger at the Sunday farmers market.
Yeah.
And you get something there, and that's the fish you have for the week because that was the place to get it. The supermarket, we have great supermarkets, but it's tier 4 quality.
How many tiers are there? 5?
No, I would say there's 10.
10 tiers.
Yeah.
And tier 4, so a little.
I'm going to revise. I would say, let's say 8 tiers.
I've always, as soon as you mention seafood specifically,
Well, I mean, that's...
when you get to seafood, there's really only 2 experiences for me. One is I just imagine any American supermarket. You walk in, somehow sushi shows up to the party. There's like cocktail sauce.
What do you mean sushi shows up?
Like, you walk up to the counter and it's just like a big ass thing of ice, right? And then you have like a bunch of fish like cod and always salmon. And it's like right on the ice.
Right.
It's like bleeding into the ice. And then the kale in its rightful place.
I haven't seen it that in a long time where they actually dress it up.
Yeah.
Dress up the delicacies.
So they'll have kale and snow crab claws and and some shrimp usually. And it's usually like that's the typical grocery store setup, right? But
Yeah.
and I say sushi because I don't know how, but
You see the sushi as like its own separate, like it's a different whole contract. It's not even run by the
oh well, I'm thinking like the standard American supermarket. I think of sushi as like there's like a little counter. and they'll have like smoked salmon hanging, and they'll have like the
That's not
imitation
sushi.
crab meat. But but they'll be
You're
like
talking about like not rolled prepared sushi, but sushi ingredients?
no rolled prepared sushi. Yeah, it's part of like let's call it the Florida grocery store that I'm at least thinking.
So they're
of.
probably just purchasing
Yeah,
the
yeah.
trays and
and
putting
throw-
it out there. right?
exactly. And so there's that, and then there's the other one, which is like, beautiful like loins, and they're actually like maybe they're in a cooler.
The other what? The other like
The other experience.
right. Oh, so two sides of the
Yeah.
right. You can go
it's like
both either way.
beautiful, and they have like these sea scallops that are like glistening, and like
Do
you
they
see.
move when you touch them? You touch
Yes,
them, they're
yes.
still quivering.
They wink at you, and you're like, "Should I have scallops tonight?" And they're like, "Yo,"
Turn me into a noodle.
and then they'll have like the whole loin of tuna, and the whole loins of swordfish and stuff like that, and it's beautiful. And where I live now, there's all kinds of beautiful like
I can
mahi
imagine. In Florida,
and all
you
the
gotta have,
great Gulf fish.
You say grouper every other day.
I love grouper,
I mean, do they
I
have
love
anything else down there?
triple tail,
Triple tail.
red snapper, cobia.
What's your favorite?
Honestly, I'd have to say I'm a really big fan of triple tail. It's like this.
You seem to get grouper more often.
It's more available.
Okay.
Grouper's definitely more available. And stone crab claws right now
Of course.
are in season, so they're fantastic. And then there's all kinds of cool like Key West shrimp, brown shrimp, Mexican brown
Yeah.
shrimp.
See, I'm in the Northeast.
Yes. But the Northeast has its own like awesome things. Like all the classics are to me, right? Are like swordfish, and you have
Yeah, I'm just saying you don't have to get that far outside of New York City, like into the land part, for it to be very difficult to find.
yes.
quality
Well,
stuff.
and think about it. I mean, like how many
And
times
it's not so you can mail order great steaks, pork chop. You can get that stuff.
Yes.
But seafood's a different story.
Yeah, I agree.
And sometimes I feel like the grocery stores, they're great grocery stores, but the tier 4, why don't they just leave it frozen? It comes frozen and then defrost it to make it look like it's fresh. Just leave it frozen. That's better.
But dude, how often do you walk into, let's say, like a good supermarket, like a Wegmans?
Oh, here we go.
How often do you walk
Here
into
we
a
go. When was
Wegmans?
the last time you?
It's been a long time.
There are no Wegmans in Florida.
No, not in Florida. Wegmans, by the way, guys, in case you're ever leave Colombia and decide that you want to go have a rotisserie chicken experience, Wegmans I haven't had one in a long time.
You're not going to vouch for it right now.
I can't vouch
But they're
for it.
sponsoring the show, so just.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Perfect.
They
Lemon pepper
They
goodness.
must be. They must be sponsoring you to bring it up.
Every time I have a
Every-
chance. Okay, so you walk into what's another Whole Foods. They have a whole section of frozen IQF stuff.
I'm totally behind
Flounder,
that. I would appreciate that.
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
into that.
They freeze it on the boats. It's fresher than fresh.
Yeah, no, it's kind of like canned conserva stuff. Like it's done a la minute.
Right.
Right. But when was the last time you bought some frozen fish?
It's been a long, long time.
So why don't you take a bite of your own
I
medicine?
think that if the fish, what I'm saying is, at the local groceries, available pre-fish market,
Yes.
if the fish would have just been kept frozen instead of defrosted to make it look like it was fresh, it probably would have been a better product. I would have realized that is actually fresher than however long it's been defrosted and on that ice for.
Well, but aside from say
You can
shrimp,
see like the little kind of like
crystallization and
you
stuff.
can see the edges are like oxidizing and stuff, and you can tell it was frozen, but they're displaying it as if it's fresh.
Yeah. Seafood's one of those things for me. I'm very careful.
Well, yeah.
Like I'd rather, I don't know. It's maybe the secret sauce is being close to the water.
Yeah, or you can't do it.
Or don't.
You
do
just
it.
can't. You have to not.
So when you go to this market, it's beautiful stuff?
Oh, at the farmer's market. Yeah, it's great. And it's always, I like that it's always kind of different. This is what they got today.
I've been having a problem with farmers markets lately.
Pourquoi? Pourquoi? Where are we?
Well, for example, in Sarasota.
Okay, I was just, yeah.
There's a really cool farmers market. Some of the stuff that you get, you can tell is like, it's actually from the farm.
Oh, didn't you have some farmer's market experience?
I'm trying to think. So there's this market on Wednesdays in Sarasota.
It was like you saw the box.
Dude, yeah. And like, so I'll go to the produce area and I'll be like, oh, are these tomatoes from here? And they'll be like, oh yeah, fresh from a farm down the street. And then I'll see like the case and it says like
Down the street Jersey.
Mexican.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. You were just kind of surprised because it was off season and
yeah, I was.
And there's hothouse tomato. Of course,
Sure.
They can be local off season.
And look, shame on me if they decided to.
You just wanted it to be.
Reuse
you just wanted it to be
the tomato box,
Yeah.
right? Shame on me if they reuse a tomato box.
Well, the tomato box came from somewhere in the first place.
Shame on me if they're reusing it and they actually grew those tomatoes. But it took away all the charm. Yeah. It took the charm away. And then, you walk around the farmer's market and let's say, for example, you buy, I don't know, a loaf of bread. Look, I know there's a lot of time and effort that gets put into setting up these stands and all this stuff, but like you walk up and I'm like, oh, my mom would love some bread. And I buy a loaf of bread and it's like $18.
Yeah.
Then they're like looking for a tip on it.
Tip?
Yeah.
Well, that is something of a scourge these days.
And it's just like, I don't know.
You shouldn't tip on a loaf of bread.
Look, I actually think I may have come up with how to make this experience a little better. I would rather pay to get in. Like a setup fee. I'd rather walk into the farmer's market and then be like, hey, welcome to the farmer's market. It's a lot of work to set this thing up. There's a lot of people that put a lot of time and effort into making this look nice for you. It's going to be $10 to walk around. I'd rather pay an admission fee that gets split amongst all the different tenants than them just like having to figure out how to make it profitable. Because I know it's like a labor of love. None of these guys are it's raking it in.
It's less expensive than paying rent at it.
I guess it's less expensive than brick and mortar, but I think in a lot of these cases, it's like, it's like they're one shot.
For the week. Well, they travel around to different farmers markets and stuff.
And look, there's definitely some great, like I finally found good barbecue in Florida. Finally. I've had such an incredibly tough time trying to find barbecue in Florida. And you'd think because you're in the South, it just, that there's at least like some... Somebody left North Carolina, right?
Right.
Go down. There's water down there. Let's go to North. Somebody left North Carolina, or somebody left, I don't know, South Carolina or St. Louis, and was like, "Hey, I want to do barbecue down in Florida." Dude, one time I went to this farmer's market, not this one actually, a Saturday one, in a different town, and you could smell like just barbecue. That's the thing, is you smell this barbecue like as you're driving up.
You like perk up.
Oh, dude, it smells so good. It's like that hickory sweet, meaty like thing. You know what I mean? It's just, for me, it's like Bugs Bunny with the carrot soup.
You're like floating through
exactly. Yeah. And I'm like, I need that, right? So I've been burned so many times. And not only is it
you keep trying. You keep picking yourself back up, dude, and going for it.
It's like, you smell how amazing this stuff smells, and honestly, like, if there's ribs, I'm in. You got me.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
and it's hard to mess up ribs. Well,
is it?
Let me wait to hear the story first.
Okay. So a couple times I went for chicken, and
Why would you go for chicken? Just curious.
Well, listen, I don't just go for chicken. I go for everything. You know why? It's because eating a bunch of St. Louis ribs and like crunching through like a bunch of like rich or baby backs or brisket. It's like you want to have that one thing, that one bite of like chicken leg, or like where you don't feel like it's just like an exercise in clogging your arteries, right? That one lighter, like a smoked turkey breast. It's just a way to break it up.
Sure.
Right?
Got it. Palate cleanser.
Yeah. Because I'm going to eat all the brisket. I'm going to eat all the ribs. And then I need to have that one
You'll take those ribs down to like the chicken wing. Like just completely fossilized, every little bit gone.
Yes. If there's a piece of cartilage left over and you haven't eaten it, it's a disgrace to the animal as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, and it tastes good. I don't know why I love that shit. So So, dude, one time, and this actually hurt me from barbecue. I've always heard these stories about how, like, hey, you shouldn't use lighter fluid, and it gets stuck in the charcoal, and it's got to burn off, and all this stuff. And I was at in Bradenton, which is another town. It was Saturday market, and probably a little slightly hungover, and just dying for some sort of food.
Just a little slightly.
Just a touch, and the waft of barbecue just permeates the entire market, right? Like, sure, somebody's selling like some soap, right? Homemade soap with like germinated whatever. And then somebody else has got like, I make earrings out of business cards, and then, you got all the characters in the market are just like, trying to whatever. And so you walk up to the barbecue guy, and the line for the barbecue is always crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So you're like, you know what? I'm going to go see what records that guy has in his, like, in like the
like
crates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll come back, right? And then, like,
Do you have a record player?
No, but you
you're
just
checking it
look
out.
through them, just to
Wasting time.
Yeah. And, there's the empanada guy, there's the chimichurri guy, there's always a mushroom guy.
Always.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
Always a mushroom guy. I'm like, wow, I didn't know portobellos could also be, you know what I mean? Like, and then so finally you see the line die down a little bit, right? And you're like, shit, yeah, I'm going to run over, and this is my shot. I walk over, and this was the one that kind of ruined me for a while. I was like, hey, I'll have some ribs. Ribs aren't ready. No worries. I understand. Busy out here, huh? Yeah, been busy. Great,
Ribs
man.
aren't ready.
Ribs aren't ready.
That kind of should have been your first. What time was this?
It was like 12 o'clock or something.
Ribs aren't ready. It's not like a, to order kind of a thing.
Well,
then
it's
it's like barbecue's
I know.
You cook it, it's done,
Yesterday.
it sells out. Right. They start at 4 a.m.
Right,
and
Tony.
yeah.
Maybe I was a little bit hungover and I didn't have my wits about me. But
And you'd waited so long.
and and you're sniffing stuff, and you're like, grilled cheese, no, right? Pizza out of a truck, no thanks. Empanadas.
You've never been a pizza fan. I know you're trying to convince me you've never been a pizza fan.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry.
It is what it is.
I'm sorry.
Just cop to it.
Okay. I love Joe Badia's pizza. That shit was fantastic.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how good it was. But anyway, so I'm like, oh, let me get some. And plus, you know what I mean? We're all on our carnivore kicks. We're all on our meat thing. So for me, it's like, it didn't even count if I have meat. It's,
Right.
You know what I mean?
You have to, actually.
Don't have carbs. Don't have seed oils.
Right.
But, eat 48 pounds of flesh and you're fine. So I walk over.
The fattier the better.
The fattier the better. So I walk over and I try to order a couple of things, and he's out, and that's great. I'm glad that you're busy and all that. And he's like, nobody's really going on the chicken legs today. And I'm like, what? Nobody's going on the chicken legs? You could leave like a
Sweeter words were never spoken.
yeah. And chicken legs, it's like God said, let there be a gift for humans, right? I'm going to make a kebab of delicious sweetness. And I want all to enjoy, right? It's like it's already on a stick for you. So, of course, my next move is, how many you got? He's like, look, I got chicken legs, blah, blah, blah. What sauces, right? It's a dance. You got to do the dance. I don't want cornbread, right?
Yeah.
Got to do the dance. Coleslaw, fine. Yeah, it's cold. Yeah. So,
Was it like a plate, or was it taking it home? Like in the styrofoam clam
I
shop?
might have convinced the guy it was a good idea to just give me like 6 to 8 chicken legs.
Might have.
Yes.
Maybe.
And I was like, because they want to sell you a platter. They want to sell you the platter.
A platter is some of everything.
Yeah, or it's like a half a rib with 2 sides and whatever.
Gotcha. Half platter, whole
and I'm
platter.
like, dude, look. Yeah, I mean,
Probably because that's how they have to ring it up on their little phone,
Yeah, that's true
right?
too. That's true.
Computer doesn't work otherwise.
Right.
What do I charge you for?
but I want to walk around and tinker with the terrarium lady, you know, like
terrarium.
It's not a terrarium. It's
I thought you were going to
say
say chimichurri. Just that's where my head went.
Right. Yeah. I want to like walk around and you know, and go ask the person where their coffee's from and tell them how much better it is in Colombia.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Or like my mom, her move is to walk up to like the bubble tea lady and be like, you should do this with matcha. And I'm like, Mom, this poor lady's been setting up her iced tea stand all day. She's obviously from
Does your
the
mom
South.
ever send things back at restaurants?
No, my mom is like
Interesting.
me. My
She just
mom will
provides good advice.
grin and bear it. Yeah. She's just like, whatever, pass the hot sauce kind of thing. But so, so I want to have an interactive experience with the farmer's market. I want to walk around. I want to eat a chicken leg. I want to flick it in the trash and keep going, right? A little sliced sausage, not chorizo, but, you know, a little smoked sausage action. Like I want to walk around and I want to experience the entire
You're hungover.
market.
You're getting your food. Now it's time to enjoy.
Yeah, correct.
Right.
And I'm not going to sit. I'm not going to sit and eat.
On the curb.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
don't like have chairs there.
That's what yeah. So I remember being so hungry and I overstepped. I should have collected myself and said, self, you don't know how good this is. Why would you commit
to 6
to 8? Yeah.
Well, there's a lot, you know.
Yeah, and
I could see.
I thought I was
knowing
winning.
you tend to overstep.
Fair. I mean, I would eat. What I was hoping was I would tear 4 up, tell myself that the rest were for home, eat 1 on the way back, and then have 3, and then be like, Mom, I got you chicken legs.
Right.
And she, oh, you love me so much. So I took the first bite out of this chicken, and bro, it tasted like straight up gasoline.
Wow.
I had never experienced that. So much so that I was like, nah, that can't be. That can't be. I like to take a bite. It tasted like I literally like was huffing like the Exxon Mobil fucking thing, right? And I was like, was that what? Compose myself, deep breath, take another bite. And I was like, this is inedible.
Wow.
This
completely, you couldn't even power through.
Dude, I then was like, maybe it wasn't a part of the grill that was like saturated. Let me move on, as all should and can do. Allow me to move on to the sausage.
Number 2. Oh, the sausage.
Yeah, because I got some sausage.
You didn't, not the second chicken, not like the other chicken.
Well,
just another item.
Yes. And then I went on to the other item and also doused. It was so bad that it tasted like the meats were on the smoker and he was putting lighter fluid on it while it was cooking.
That's crazy. It's just so hard to imagine how that could have happened.
While it was on the grill, like it was dripping down, like whatever. What is the chemical in lighter fluid? Kerosene.
Yeah.
Like it looked like. I wouldn't have been surprised if it was on the grill, like all the meats were on the grill, and he's like, up. It went out, and he started.
Yeah, but see, it's interesting because you don't do that with barbecue. You know, it's you don't relight it. You might kind of keep it going.
You should,
right? But when he said that the ribs weren't quite ready yet, was that what it is? That
Maybe
kind
he
of
had
is
like a
the
second.
warning
I
sign,
know.
right? Because then you're
know.
kind of it's not ready yet, but you got to line. You got to start to pick up the pace.
What I should have done is said, "Sir."
It still doesn't make sense. You know, it doesn't make sense for somebody whose craft is barbecue.
Well, maybe it's not.
Even have
Maybe it's not their craft.
Kingsford.
I'm willing to say it is not their craft.
How did it look in general?
I probably have a picture of it.
How did I smoke? Did it look like quality barbecue?
All I can tell you is from that moment, it was a solid 4 months before I would go to the farmer's, because farting around at the farmer's market is like a thing to do.
Yeah.
Beautiful flowers, like
65
walking around all the stands and, bread made from whatever, like it's just, there's all this kind of stuff going on. And
They probably have a lot of gluten-free options for you at the farmer's market.
there is.
Yeah.
There is.
Gluten-free cookies, gluten-free
Right.
pastries,
Right.
gluten-free
Dreams.
pizza,
Yeah.
gluten-free
Yeah.
dreams.
There's some things.
Yeah.
And there's always a guacamole
Really?
stand. Yeah.
I could get behind that.
Yeah. Listen, I went and got guacamole and ceviche from the guacamole lady one day. But
And
then-
ceviche.
And ceviche, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I was like, you know what? It's a lot of the same stuff. Peppers, onions, cilantro,
Sure.
citrus. But, you check out like a 4-ounce thing of guacamole and a 4-ounce thing of ceviche, and you're like, $48.
Right.
$48. And you want a tip? It just doesn't feel right. Anyway, so, dude, it was so bad that I threw it out.
All of it. Wow.
All of it. I wouldn't even
Didn't send that back either.
Didn't send it back. Didn't send them back. And you know what? Am I the problem? Am I the problem? Like if I would have sent back the barbecue or
you're not
walked
gonna-
up to the guys that eat it, like like when like a dog does something bad, and people are like, eat it. I should have went back to the barbecue guy and said, you fucking eat this chicken. It's on me. I bought it for you to suffer through or resell it. And
There were a lot of people that too. I wonder if they all
dude,
had
it
the
was
same experience.
packed.
Yeah.
It was packed. And then it goes back
It's a
to
mystery. It really is a mystery. It's hard to imagine how that would happen with a barbecue
it was so bad.
operation.
It was really sad. It was sad and it was bad. And so, but anyway, full circle. I had finally, dusted off the anger, and I.
What did you get after? Did you lose your appetite? And that was it?
Well, that's the thing is it ruined me. No, I was
Just
done.
what'd you get,
dude?
though?
Imagine being a little hungover and your mouth tastes like kerosene.
Yeah. What are you going to do? I mean, you must have
Complain about it on a podcast.
But what you must have. You just couldn't. You weren't hungry for.
That was it.
That was it. You were done.
That was it.
You went right back to bed.
No, I don't know what I did after. I might have had Bloody Marys or something like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Got a little salad in there.
It was so bad. But then I forget the name of this amazing little truck. So, months pass. And, every time I go by, like, I smell any kind of barbecue at, like, a farmer's market, I'm just like, it's like an automatic, But finally, like, something happened. It was just this sweet mesquite thing at the Sarasota market on Wednesdays.
On Wednesdays.
There's a Wednesday market, and this sweet.
How do you get how busy is a Wednesday farmers market?
Well,
it seems to be like it's a weekend thing, right? That's when
it's
you can
usually
go.
a weekend thing. This is the Wednesday market, and I really like it.
What time is it open? Is it open like kind of later?
I want to say from like 10 to 2 kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah. So I go. What I loved doing was going to the produce thing to get eggs, but the produce people changed. They changed from what was like this local Florida farm
to
tomatoes
from Mexico.
Mexican, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with Mexican tomatoes,
No.
as long as you charge me Mexican tomato prices.
Gotcha.
And so, so I see this barbecue spot, and it's a new one, and I'm like,
So
we
wait,
gonna
was
do
this, I'm
this?
sorry, was this a different farmers market or?
yeah, this was a different farmer's
Okay.
market, and there was a new
I
barbecue
thought
spot.
for a second that something got rotated out.
Well, so there was a new truck, and I saw this really sweet woman, like just very engaged. Same thing, a little line and stuff, but it just smelled great.
Gotcha again.
And they got me again.
I'm wondering why you have such a great you can I'm surprised you didn't smell it ahead of time.
What, that the one I got that was bad was going to be bad?
Right.
Well, yeah.
It's just interesting.
Maybe I was off.
It's like how it
Maybe
was.
I was off.
Yeah.
I was obviously
Right.
off. So I got this barbecue, and I got St. Louis ribs, and I got brisket, and the pit guy was like, yeah, like he had like a normal day job, and he's like, I love doing this. So I on Wednesdays I'll come down here.
Eric Faust.
Eric Faust, I think would have liked this,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, I'll throw a couple butts on, make some pulled pork, but I love to do this, and this is like my thing. And I come with my daughter and my wife, and we have a great time and just sell barbecue. And it felt right. And I was like, "You have ribs?" He's like, "Yeah, I have like a rack and a half left." And this time, I was like, "You know what? Don't be stupid. I'll have a half a rack, right?"
And chicken, just got the ribs. Were you kind of like ruined
brisket.
from chicken?
Brisket.
You weren't going to do the chicken again.
Yeah, I didn't get chicken, and I was like brisket, and I'm like, I'll have a half a pound of brisket too. Great. So I get the stuff, and what do you do at that point? You dart it to the car, right? Hope no one's looking at you, and start to feast like a beast, right?
You weren't going to walk around politely speaking to the shopkeepers this time.
If I had nature's gift, the chicken drumstick, I would have easily been able to walk around with it. But
ribs is a different
are tough.
story.
Yeah. Can you imagine like shopping with your niece, like a cute little 3-year-old, and some fucking like mongrel man is like gnawing on a rib, you know what I mean? Like trying not to choke on it as she's like eating cotton candy. It's like, come on. So I went to the car and I fucking destroyed it. It was so good. It was sweet and smoky. It was like just enough dry rub. It didn't have a bunch of sauce on it. It was so good. So then I'm like,
did you go back? Did you get the rest?
I went back.
Good.
And they sold out of ribs and they sold out of brisket and they had nothing left. And the guy was nice enough. He goes, "Man, I'm so sorry. Like you should have gotten that rack and a half. I had a whole rack and a half." And I was like, "Dude, I've had so many bad experiences with Florida barbecue that I needed to test the waters." And he was like, "Listen, man, come back. We're here every Wednesday, but I make really good beans. You like beans?" And I'm like
a baked bean.
"Yeah." And I was like, "Don't worry about it." He's like, "Here, just say." He gave me a thing of beans. And I was acting all nonchalant, like, "You didn't have to." I fucking ran right back to the car and started eating it like it was fucking ice cream in the middle of a desert. I was like, "Ah." And it was great. And actually, that's the first thing I'm going to do.
Did it have any kind of like burnt ends in it?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
It had like chunks of brisket. I think it might have some pork in there, some bacon. It was like sweet, smoky. Like the beans themselves retain their texture, and when you bite into them, they
All right. We're going to barbecue tonight. Come on.
Fine. Julie, you're out. We're going to barbecue. So yeah, it was great. But anyway, I digress.
Did we? What are we talking about?
We were talking about the supermarket.
Well, it's kind of the same thing. Like
Yeah.
you ventured out from getting barbecue to restaurants and bought it from a market in a way.
When was the last time you went to a farmer's market?
All the time.
What do you like to get?
Well, we get fish there every Sunday.
You get fish.
Yeah. And,
I thought Anthony Bourdain said you're not allowed to get fish on Sundays.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I should have. Yeah. No, it's great fish. Comes from Montauk or something.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff is at that market? Like you got tuna, you got salmon, you got swordfish.
You can tell a market when it gets, you can tell that a market is really doing local stuff when it gets really sparse.
Yeah.
During the winter months. A lot of butternut squash and sweet potatoes.
Yeah. A lot of kohlrabi.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff you get in that like farmer's market basket every once in a while that you don't know what to do with.
Yes.
But there's a mushroom person. I get mushrooms occasionally.
Yep.
And you have these boxes where you can grow your own. Just spray on them.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
Grow oyster mushrooms. That's fun.
Have you done that?
Yeah.
And do they sprout? And all
Yeah.
that?
Totally.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
You can think like 2 or 3 fruitings out of it.
Cool.
And I always get greens because they're fresh forever. They're awesome.
Oh, like
arugula and
Okay.
spicy whatever mix. Like just a bag or 2 of that.
Beets.
There's
There's always
this-
beets.
Always. I don't tend to get beets that much. I'll
good for you.
cook them and then I just don't eat them for some reason.
High in nitric acid. Nitric acid. Oxide. Nitric oxide.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Usually a loaf of bread or something.
Okay.
It's not $18, but
Yeah.
probably 12.
$14.99.
But it's
Yeah.
I don't have as much a problem with the prices at farmers markets.
No. You're there for
No,
the
it's
show?
like you want to support it. You want it to be, you want them to come back.
Yeah.
And there's a Korean vegetable farmer. Always has beautiful stuff.
Cool.
And they
Napa
grow-
cabbage kind of thing or what?
No, like apples, and they have a few ingredients that are like tatsoi and stuff like that.
Cool.
They always have duck eggs, which is fun every once in a while.
Do you? Oh, I've got a duck egg experience, but go ahead.
Do you?
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
And they have rice. They grow rice somewhere around there. Somewhere
What?
in like northern New York, they're growing this beautiful rice. I got
Get
black
outta
rice
here.
from there. Yeah, that's what they say. And they have really amazing rice. I got to find out where. I got to see where the rice paddies of New York are.
Yes.
Yeah. But I've been getting this black rice that's, I haven't had it forever. The forbidden rice. It's like actually like a deep purple.
Does it take like way longer to cook like wild rice? The black rice?
Yeah, but wild rice is actually a seed. It's not actually rice.
Did you know that? I didn't
It's a
either.
seed. That's why it doesn't cook the same way at all, and it kind of puffs. It kind of breaks, you know? It's like a grass seed, basically.
Okay. A grass seed.
But it's black forbidden rice. I think it's like it's a higher ratio of water. I don't think it takes that much longer to cook, but it's got this great chewiness to it,
Nice.
and it smells great.
A little more texture on it.
Yeah. It's awesome.
That's very cool.
And so I got a few stuff from them. Always apples in New York, for sure.
Yeah.
Big,
that makes
beautiful
sense.
apples.
makes
That's about it. Oh, there's a pickle guy.
Always.
I always get the pickles.
Yes.
I get a half sour and a full sour.
Nice.
A quart of each of those, and sometimes a spicy pickle.
I love pickles.
Yeah,
I love pickles.
that's
nice.
That's like,
yeah,
that's like
there
the
is always a
standard
pickle
Sunday
guy.
run through the market.
Yeah. Then there's coffee guy. There's always a coffee person.
Yeah, I get a coffee. I get a coffee every half an hour, no matter where I am.
Yeah, that's
in
fair
life.
enough. Yes,
So
correct. You need that.
Give it to me.
You need that.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. And so, do you ever-
There's always a lonely microgreens person with nobody at the table. So sometimes I'll go get something. Just
yeah.
I like it. I'll get some, but
destroyer of food costs.
I think people, microgreens destroyer of food cost.
yes.
But I'll I'm game.
Yeah. Why do you think people never toss the microgreens in something before they garnish?
You could toss it in a little olive oil.
I agree, but it's seldom done.
Is it? Well, I think most people kind of like sprinkle it over like a Starry Night type of a thing. They
Yeah.
don't they don't treat it like a salad. It's
Yeah.
more like a garnish, like a
They
wisp.
should.
Right? But if you treat it like a little mix with little,
Yeah.
and some of those are incredibly, the flavor is so
I like
intense
microgreens.
and spicy and great. Yeah,
I
they're
feel
great.
like its moment came and went, but there was a time where micro cilantro with a little seed at the end was like everything.
I like it on sandwiches. I'll put it on sandwiches. Like micro cilantro on like taco night is great.
That's a great idea,
Yeah.
Tony. What is
Every
what
once
is-
in a while.
what
Every
is
once in a while I come out with one.
What is your classic taco night? What do you like to put it? What is your
Tacos
thing?
al pastor, which I get from a butcher shop across the street from the fish shop. That's actually
What?
been there for a long. It's awesome. A great butcher shop in town too.
And the pastor is cooked already, or do you cook it?
No. I cook it, but I have a very small kitchen, and so I have this kind of like toaster oven thing. So I'm kind of limited by what I can do. Usually tacos is for more of a crowd, so I'll do a pork shoulder, pork butt.
And it's marinated in the pastor stuff? Or you
No,
do
I'm
that?
sorry. I don't. I'll do like a pastor adjacent type of dish, right? Because you really need a trump. Pastor to me has got to be pastor.
Okay.
It can't be just pastor
So it's-
seasoning mix.
So it's like tacos pastor.
Well, you
Not
know,
pastor.
you know where this comes from.
Can't be
It comes
pastor.
from like lamb, and
Yeah.
it comes from pastor means pasture, which is you know
Continue.
this. You know the story.
I want
It
to
was
hear
like
this.
a Lebanese that were Mexico at some time had a big influx of Lebanese.
Okay.
And that's why it's called taco al pastor, because it was pastures that the sheep were grazing on. It wasn't pork.
Oh.
It was like a shawarma. It's a shawarma cooker, right? On its side, a trompo.
I love.
So it's been Mexicanized, and the fruit with the meat, which is a very Middle Eastern type of thing to do with the
right, with the pineapple
pineapple
and all
and
that.
stuff. So it's a fusion dish, honestly.
Okay, so there's tacos al pastor, and it sounds like what you're making is tacos al pastor.
Something like that.
Okay.
I usually cut it up so it cooks faster.
Okay.
Like I'll chunk it up
Okay.
and squeeze some orange juice over it with a variety of things, whatever I have around.
Yeah,
I'm not too picky about it. I just want to cook the gypsy love out of it so it shreds apart nicely.
Yeah.
And then it's can be ready 2 hours before anybody shows up.
Do you make salsas and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, of course.
What?
It's taco night.
Tomatillo, what are you doing? I mean, I don't know if you're like so over chefed and chefed out that you just like pick up the pace and you're like,
No. I'll usually do a pico, like a quick pico.
okay.
And I'll do a roasted salsa. Just take a big cast iron, have a tomato or
Okay.
two, kind of blacken it
Yeah.
on a
Char it
really
up.
hot cast iron, garlic, jalapeno, onion,
Raw or cooked?
raw, but it's cooking, it's searing.
Oh, okay. All that together
It's
is
kind of
in
like
the
turns
cast
into
iron.
like a charred, half raw,
Yeah,
quarter
I
cooked
understand.
kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And usually with some what are those green chilies? Anaheim or
The serranos?
not serranos. The names escape me. The longer green chilies. The stuffed ones. The ones you make chili relleno out of.
Oh, poblanos.
Poblanos, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll sear those up a little bit, just lightly dressed in olive oil, just coated in olive oil so that they get a little sear on them.
Okay.
And get a nice caramelization on one side or two.
And keep the other side raw.
Well, it starts to kind of fall. It gets
Yeah,
hard to
yeah,
get
yeah.
surface area, right? It's good to do on a grill, but you can certainly do it on a flat top too.
Okay.
It's not supposed to be anything pretty, right? You're just grilling it up and kind of cooking it.
Yeah.
And then just puree it up with some fresh cilantro, a little salt in there.
Nice.
It's delicious
That sounds great.
and easy.
Where do you get your tortillas? I feel like that's a big deal.
The local supermarket has great tortillas.
Do
great
they?
fresh corn tortillas, white corn, yellow corn.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the one thing I miss the most of Philadelphia is the Italian market.
Yeah.
There used to be this incredible tortilla. I think it's called Tortilleria San Roman on the corner of.
You think it's
yeah,
called?
I think.
Just
And I think
might be called Tortillas de la
it might be called Tortilla San Roman, and the number might be 215-778-4244. And they might on Saturdays crank up the machine. Do you remember it? Dude, I used to wake up and go get coffee at Gleaners, and you could hear when they were making the tortillas.
The machine was going?
Yes, it would be like, it would sound like an old hotel, and you could hear like they would have this like wheel, maybe like a 15-foot wheel going, and they would put masa in there, and then they would press out tortillas, and you could smell sweet masa.
That's what's kind of nice about, even though we can't, we have to seek out these good ingredients. It's kind of nice to go and do that, right?
Yeah.
I've also started to buy many more prepackaged things. By prepackaged, I mean like prepared things. Like there's a place that does great chicken salad. I'll just buy that and eat it instead of making my own chicken salad.
Yeah.
Right? So it was a long time before I would kind of get into those kind of areas. Well, it's not chicken salad unless you make it from scratch.
How long did it take for that to get beat out of you?
17, 18 years.
17,
No, yeah.
18 years.
Not that long.
Okay, yeah. So now that you'll find the places that have the best of something.
Yeah.
And then that's the way to go.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
I'll
Dill.
buy like
Dill? You like dill in the chicken salad?
I do like a dill chicken salad, but the one I've been buying recently has like grapes and walnuts in it.
Oh, it's like a Waldorf chicken
Yeah,
salad.
I dig it.
Wow, dude. You've gone into Martha Stewart land.
It's good. It's good.
Okay, cool. And then do you eat chicken salad like a sandwich or something? How do you enjoy your chicken salad?
Yeah. Sandwich.
Sandwich? What kind of bread? Your farmer's market bread?
I can't pass a baguette without buying it. I just can't. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is. Doesn't matter if I'm hungry. I just grab it. It ends up in the bag.
It's
don't know
like
how.
a security blanket.
Yeah. I'll go buy dinner on the way home at that butcher shop.
Okay.
Marbled, it's called. It's amazing. And they have some pre-prepared. That's one of the places I get the chicken salad, but that one has black olives in it. It's like a niçoise style.
Oh.
But they have meatballs there that I get those, freeze them. They have a nice selection of things, ready-made things, I should say.
Nice.
That are good. And they always have baguettes there. And it's well past baguette time. It's like not past lunch. It's like 5:30, 6 o'clock, but I still get it. And I eat half of it before I even get home.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way to do it. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen you eat bread. I actually get jealous.
I know.
When I see the way that you eat bread, it's kind of like what I imagine, like a.
I love it.
I imagine this is like what, like a fresh born calf, like how
Tell me what how you really see me.
like a mother
Like a
cow
veal,
has like a
just waiting to be-
fresh born
yeah.
calf and is like licking it and like making sure it's alive, and that's the way you look at bread.
That's how you look at bread too. You just don't get to actually sink your teeth into it.
I miss it so much.
I'll have yours.
Listen.
In the meantime,
you
I'll do my part.
deserve it.
Thank you.
You deserve the bread. Well, it's funny because I was just thinking about, so the market by my house, there's a great little market called Morton's. And the thing I love about markets, and the thing I love just in general about going shopping, is that it's an excuse to leave the house.
Yeah.
Since I've been a restaurant tech hermit for the last decade, and my only human interaction comes when I go and buy coffee, or I go to the farmer's market, or I go to the local market, and they all fucking know me. Eric and Mike, they're all trying to sell me steaks. They know. They know.
You start up conversation. You get into it.
Well, I'll ask. This is the thing. This is part of the market experience. Is I'll have real conversation. I'll ask the tough questions,
such as
Eric.
how do you make money doing this?
Oh, that's a really good question. I'll be like, yo, Mike, when's the salmon from? And Mike will just go, like, give me like a little side.
Yes or no. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, thank you. Scallops? And he'll give me like the wink, like, yeah. And I'm like, all right. You need that relationship.
Sure.
You need that relationship. And these poor guys, I'm so particular. I'm such a little pain in the I'm a big fucking pain in the ass.
Yes.
I'm very particular.
Except for when it comes to sending steaks back.
I'll never do it. But if I'm gonna make my steak at home, I like want the perfectly marbled, not too much fat in the eye, like the special one, like that one that the cow gave its life for, marbled, like good ribeye to cap ratio. The bone hasn't been splintered. It's not like unevenly butchered. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And dude, Mike is so sweet. Mike will look at me and he won't even bat an eye. He'll pull that whole fucking rack out. And the poor guy is like, he's like an old country club chef, and he's like, I like this, I like doing this. And I know that every time he bends over to pull that thing out, like the 800 pounds of chicken that he's prepped in his previous life, it hurts. But he does it for me. And he'll pull it out.
Here's like muscles,
yeah, dude,
joints
and
cracking.
I know. But he likes it. He likes it too,
does.
because I think he lives vicariously through my steak choice. And he'll pull, and we'll play a game. He'll be like, "Well, this one has better marbling on the outside," and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I know, but look, this one's a little bit thicker." And he's like, "Yeah, but look at this one," and then we'll play this game. We'll do the dance,
And you're like, I'll take all three. Yep.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And by the end, I've got all three steaks. Well, anyway, they've got this pickle and olive bar at Morton's. Ooh. And
like the big tubs that you just go in,
like all that stuff.
Like get a pint and whatever.
And this is the part of the story where I have to make a confession.
This part?
So I'll go to the pickle bar, and they always have the jardinera, right? Mm-hmm. And the jardinera, for those that don't know, it's like pickled like cauliflower, carrots, and it's got pepper, it's got celery.
Onions. I'm sorry, olives.
Yeah, it's got a bunch of stuff in there.
It's a Chicago thing they put on roast beef sandwiches.
Yes, it's delicious, but I like to snack on
It's my favorite. It's my favorite. I'll keep that around.
Oh yeah?
Oh, always.
Okay.
And mix that into tuna salad with some chopped boiled eggs.
You told me about
done.
this.
You're done. You put some nice olive oil at the top.
I'm so hungry, dude. I'm so hungry. Anyway, fasting is a fucking pain in the ass.
A little fresh dill.
I don't want to fast anymore.
We don't have to.
Oh gosh. Anyway,
Want this candy bar?
dude, all these podcasts I listen to are ruining my life. But anyway, so because you're supposed to, like not eat till 2. Anyway,
It's like 6.
I'm the guy that goes to this olive bar, and I'll pick out just the stuff I want. So there's like this big, beautiful, brimming, like overflowing jardinera, and I'm like, that's too much celery, and I'll like pick out the cauliflower.
You're completely messing up
and
the
I'll pick out
yeah.
the carrots.
Somebody else did that ahead of you. That's how the ratio got messed up anyway.
Yeah.
Do you ever just like go down to the bottom and like remix it?
Nope.
What do you pick out?
I only want the carrots and the cauliflower.
Okay, so you just want pickled cauliflower and carrots.
Yes. And I leave all the peppers. It's like a red pepper, like a nondescript bell pepper. You know, I'll leave that behind.
Gotcha.
And
that's effort.
it is effort. Well, like I said, I'm a pain in the ass. I'm so particular, and I'm kind of like that with everything. And I'm sorry to everyone that has to deal with me because I understand. I know. I know. But yeah, so markets are great. I think you should develop relationships with the people at the store. That's how you know you're getting the good stuff. I think that you should also avoid obvious things. There's obvious things that you should avoid. Like, are you going to buy like sushi grade tuna at the at your normal market?
No, I don't buy fish there at all.
Okay.
But they have fantastic everything else.
Guess what I discovered though?
What?
So I know for a long time I've been the number one salesperson of the Wegmans rotisserie chicken. Maybe
Was that how many? Did we talk about Wegmans already? This one? You just had to bring it back.
I'm bringing it back full circle because
If you
I haven't had one in so
say
long.
A1 sauce, it's over.
No.
If you say A1 sauce,
No.
it's over.
No, guess what?
What?
I found the best fried chicken at a supermarket that I think I've ever had.
Really?
Yes.
At Wegmans.
Publix.
Publix.
Publix has stolen and now has my heart.
Ooh, also the key lime pie. We found out.
Dude, I don't go anymore.
I cannot believe.
So my pharmacy is at Publix, and like the doctor,
Cholesterol medication and fried chicken.
the dermatologist called in like some little cream for my, I'm trying to figure out this gluten thing that I got, and I have like a little rash, and I'm like, she's great, the dermatologist. She sends me a new thing every week when something doesn't work. So I got like 18 different
She knows. She's
ointments
like,
and cream.
she's got a side deal with Publix. Like,
Dude.
send this guy in.
So, dude,
send him
so
in.
I
Make him walk past the fried chicken every time on his way to pick up his prescription.
Dude, so the last time, this is right before
You've
I
like
left.
tripled their sales.
I was in, I decided to have some fun. I rented a car and I had like a convertible. And I went to the supermarket and I got all my different ointments, which is weird already.
It's weird to say.
It's
ointment.
weird
Just don't
to
say
walk
ointment.
around with
Can we
them.
cut that part?
Ooh, so I'm walking. So I have a bag of ointments.
It's like a male products ointment
Yeah, I know.
stuff. You
Yeah.
got your stuff.
Yeah, creams. Whatever. And then, but every time I go there, I want to buy fried chicken wings. They're fucking
Fried chicken wings.
They're so good. And they're hot and spicy fried chicken wings, and they marinate them in this seasoning, right? And
Like a buttermilk seasoned buttermilk type
maybe
stuff?
I don't know. I've never.
like
Like
dry.
brined.
Okay.
I'd say brined. They're super crispy. They're like dark red-ish, like orangey red. And I always go, and I'm like, "Hey, can I have 5 chicken wings?" And the lady,
Oh, it's like at a deli
Yeah.
with a heat lamp.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and
we're doing 5.
I don't know. So I said, "Can I have
8 chicken legs from the barbecue
I'll
guy,
have-
but
these are
6
fat.
chicken
These are
wings.
meaty
Okay.
chicken wings." So I'm like, "Can I have 5 chicken wings?"
Is it the
And the
wing?
same-
It's all like the full 3-part wing.
No, it's either the drumette or the or the
okay.
flappy guy or the wingette or what is it? Flaps. Flaps or drums. Yeah. And so and I always do the same thing. The lady's like, "I have to charge you $1 like 10 per wing, which comes out to like $8, or you can get 15 that are prepackaged right there. I just put them in there for like $8." And I'm like, "Okay. I just want to
Gotcha.
limit my consumption."
Right.
But but I have no
Control.
I have no
Especially
control.
when there's a cost-benefit analysis that runs
Yes.
through your head.
Yeah, units of measure come
I'm
into
going to take
play.
some home and we give some
Yes.
to my mom.
Yes.
She never sees any.
Yes. So, dude, so the last time I got them, I was at the supermarket. And it's beautiful out. I put the top down. The Florida sun is shining. I play like a little bit of Steely Dan. It's like the flow. I feel it's good, right? and so
You got your creams.
So, dude,
You're ointmented up.
I like left the gym. I like go to Publix on the way. I like bought more wings than I wanted. I've got all my ointments.
More than you wanted.
Dude, and I pull up to the light. And, I'm like blasting, like, whatever Steely Dan song I'm du jour. And I break open the wings. I'm like, fuck, I can't wait. So
you can't hide in your car in a convertible.
Dude, so just the tops down.
Yeah.
And the lights in Florida are long. I don't know what is up with the lights. So I'm like eating.
It's like a 2-wing light.
A drum. Yeah. No. I might have had like 3 or 4. But like I'm like devouring a wing. Like one bite, right? And I'm like glistening. And then
glistening.
Glistening.
Is that from the ointments or from the? You're starting to sweat a little bit.
I reached into the bag. I reached into the bag of creams.
You spread some on. Oh.
And I'm just reading them, and I have like a wing, and I'm like deep in thought, and like Steve Gadd is ripping on this like crazy drum solo, and I'm like in my own little world, eating, and then it like I come to because like I have like a tube of ointment and wing in one hand, and the light's about to change, and so I look over, and there's like a Range Rover full of like young, good-looking girls, probably like college chicks that are on their like, and I made eye contact with one, and the horror on her face.
The way you eat a wing too, like
dude, I'm like
fossil, like you're just
dripping in oil, holding what looks like a herpes cream, and this poor woman looked at me in the eyes, and I think she felt bad, dude. And the only thing
reflecting what you thought about yourself in that moment.
The only thing I could think,
maybe she was like, "Look at that guy. I think he'll give me a wing."
Dude, the only thing I could think to do was go, like, just shrug my shoulders and flick the wing out and drive off. That was it. That was it.
That's it. That's it.
Sorry.
Este programa llega a ustedes con el gentil auspicio de Soy Chorizo, el auténtico chorizo vegano. Entérese más de las acojonantes aventuras de Tony y Xavi en www.overseasonel.us.